Top 5 Kennedy half dollars worth big money. Welcome to Numismatic Vault Extra. Today, we're going to explore the top 5 most valuable Kennedy half-dollar coins from the United States. United States. We'll be looking at their current market values, rare and valuable error coins, and the special conditions, including silver varieties, unique color toning, and scarce minting features that have become major highlights in the coin collector and investor world. These rare treasures are more than just pieces of American history. They are some of the most valuable and highly sought-after coins that collectors are searching for today. So if you're a coin enthusiast, an investor, or someone who appreciates the beauty and significance of American currency, this video is for you. Let's get started with our first rare Kennedy half-dollar. Magnifying, glass-tilted left sparkles. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is one of those coins that carries a quiet mystery, hiding its true potential behind the disguise of everyday change. To most people, it is just a heavy old coin easily overlooked in a drawer or coin jar. But beneath that simple outer appearance lies a world of rare errors, almost impossible minting accidents, and silver-like anomalies that can make a single coin worth more than gold. This is the type of coin that reminds collectors and dreamers everywhere that fortune can come from the most unexpected places. To understand why the 1972 half-dollar is so fascinating, you have to step back into the story of America after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. The nation was wounded, grieving, and searching for a symbol of unity. In 1964, the U.S. Mint introduced the Kennedy half-dollar as a tribute to a fallen leader whose legacy burned deeply in American hearts. 4 years afterward, the coin carried emotional weight, making it far more than a piece of currency. By 1972, that emotional connection was still alive, but the coin itself had changed dramatically. Just a few years earlier, the Mint had removed silver from the half-dollar. By 1972, the composition was fully copper-nickel clad, silver in appearance but not in substance. However, the rush of minting, the leftover materials, and the hurried decisions from the late 1960s created the perfect storm for mistakes that collectors dream of today. And it is those mistakes, the small moments when the Mint's machinery slipped, that give the 1972 half-dollar the potential to be worth a fortune. One of the most astonishing possibilities with the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is a rare wrong planchet strike. Coins mistakenly struck on leftover silver or experimental metal discs. Though 1972 was not meant to include silver half-dollars at all, the Mint's transition from silver to clad was chaotic. Leftover silver planchets could still be lingering deep within minting machinery, and during high production, they could easily slip through unnoticed. These off-metal strikes create coins that look, weigh, and sound different from normal-clad 1972 halves, and discovering one would be like finding treasure buried in plain sight. Collectors also hunt tirelessly for 1972 halves with missing clad layers, double strikes, wrong dies, broad strikes, and edge anomalies. These errors, born from split-second mechanical glitches, transform an ordinary coin into a rare artifact worth thousands. A missing clad layer can expose a rich copper surface that glows differently from any normal half. A double strike can stretch Kennedy's profile into a dramatic, surreal image. Each error is unique, a one-of-a-kind accident that makes the coin priceless to the right collector. The 1972 no mintmark coin carries an air of mystery because it was minted in Philadelphia, at a time when Philadelphia coins bore no mintmark at all. This absence gives the obverse a clean, elegant look. The empty space beneath Kennedy's neck, where a mintmark might have been, almost symbolizes the quiet, scarred silence of America after his death, a silence filled with hope, memory, and unresolved emotion. The portrait of Kennedy on the obverse gives the coin its power. His profile is strong, determined, and full of life, shining with the idealism he represented. The reverse features the presidential seal, a majestic eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. Together, these symbols were meant to show America's resilience, its balance of strength and peace, and its unbroken commitment to the future. Even today, that design resonates, making the coin feel important, even before rarity comes into play. The production of the 1972 half-dollar was massive. Millions upon millions were minted, many rushed, many struck with worn dies, and many released into harsh circulation. That means very few have survived in pristine condition. A perfectly preserved 1972 half-dollar, gleaming, sharp, and flawless, is already rare, even without errors. Combine high grade with a dramatic minting error, and suddenly the coin becomes the kind of discovery that only appears once in a generation. But the true excitement behind the 1972 half-dollar comes from the stories of silver-like coins that were not supposed to exist. Some collectors report finding pieces heavier than normal, brighter than normal, with the unmistakable ring of silver. Whether they came from leftover 40% silver blanks, experimental testing, or undocumented mint activity, these coins live in the gray area between myth and reality. And this mystery adds fuel to the belief that a 1972 half-dollar could be hiding a fortune inside its shiny face. Imagine picking up an old jar of coins, sifting through it, and feeling the surprising weight of a half-dollar. It is thicker, denser, more solid than the others. You check the date, 1972, no mint mark. The coin has a strange tone, a color unlike the ordinary clad pieces. That is how life-changing discoveries begin, quietly, almost accidentally, with a coin that most people overlook. And when these rare pieces appear at auctions, they explode in value, shocking even experienced collectors. The story of the 1972 half-dollar is not just about treasure, it is about history. It is about a country healing from tragedy, a mint racing to meet demand, metals changing, mistakes being made, and small miracles slipping out into the world. Each coin carries a piece of that history, a reflection of a nation in transition. And that history gives the coin emotional and cultural value, beyond its monetary worth. This is why people still hunt for 1972 halves today. They know the rarest examples might still be hiding in old collections, forgotten boxes, estate sales, or antique shops. They know that the silver-era 1972 half-dollar is one of the great modern mysteries, one that could turn an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. And they know that history has a strange way of rewarding those who look closely. Every collector, every treasure hunter, every dreamer knows this rule. Never ignore a Kennedy half-dollar. Especially not a 1972. Because it carries the weight of history, the shadow of a national tragedy, the brilliance of a leader's memory, and the tantalizing possibility of a minting error worth a fortune. It is a reminder that no coin is truly ordinary. Some hold secrets waiting to be discovered. And perhaps the most beautiful part of the story is this. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar proves that greatness can stay hidden for decades before revealing itself. It proves that fortune can come from the quietest corners of life. And it reminds us that a single coin, forgotten, overlooked, or tucked away, can carry the power to change someone's destiny in a single breathtaking moment. Next up, the 1990 D. Kennedy half-dollar belongs to a generation of coins many people overlook, yet it carries a hidden energy that collectors never ignore. At first glance, it seems like just another modern half-dollar, common and ordinary, tossed carelessly into pockets and cash registers. But behind that simple surface lies a world of rare mistakes, incredible minting anomalies, and the possibility of a silver-based error so shocking that it could change the future of whoever discovers it. This is the kind of coin that whispers, "Look closely, destiny might be in your hand." To understand why the 1990 D half-dollar has become a magnet for treasure hunters, you must step into the story of the Kennedy series itself. The coin was first released in 1964, born from one of the most devastating moments in American history, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The American people needed a symbol of unity, hope, and remembrance. And the U.S. Mint responded by creating a coin that carried Kennedy's spirit in every detail of its design. That emotional legacy never faded, even as decades passed and metal compositions changed. By the time the year 1990 arrived, the Kennedy half-dollar had already become a numismatic icon. Millions of Americans collected it, displayed it, saved it, and honored it. But the Denver Mint, responsible for the D mint mark, was facing pressure to produce millions of coins rapidly. High-speed mass production always opens the door to minting accidents. Accidents that can transform a normal coin into a rare masterpiece worth unimaginable amounts today. And this is where the 1990 D half-dollar begins to shine. While regular 1990 D half-dollars were struck in the familiar copper-nickel-clad material, mysterious stories persist of coins showing silver-like surfaces, heavyweight differences, or metallic compositions that defy official records. These possible wrong planchet errors happen when leftover silver blanks, experimental test materials, or misfed metal discs accidentally enter the production line. Discovering such a coin is like finding a hidden doorway into the mint's deepest secrets, a rare treasure born from a moment of mechanical confusion. Collectors are also drawn to the 1990D because it comes from an era where many half-dollars were struck but never heavily used in circulation. That means high-grade pieces exist, but truly exceptional ones are rare. A flawless, mirror-like 1990D with perfect details and not a single scratch can be worth far more than most people imagine. Add an error, and the value explodes. A double strike, an off-center strike, a missing clad layer, a die crack across Kennedy's portrait. These tiny mistakes can elevate the coin from pocket change to life-changing wealth. The portrait of John F. Kennedy on the obverse of the 1990D coin remains one of the most iconic images in American coinage. His expression is firm, noble, and determined, capturing the promise of a leader whose life was cut short. Even though decades had passed since his death, the coin kept his memory alive for a new generation. The reverse, showcasing the powerful presidential seal, adds an air of national dignity. These images give the coin emotional weight, elevating it from a simple object to a piece of history. The Denver Mint, symbolized by the small D beneath Kennedy's collar, has long been known for its precision and high output. But high output also means high risk of errors. The vast machinery, working day and night, sometimes misaligns a die, strikes a coin multiple times, or imprints the design off-center. These moments of imperfection create rare treasures collectors pursue with intensity. And the 1990D half-dollar sits at the crossroads of this unpredictability. A fascinating part of the 1990D story is how many of these coins disappeared into storage, vaults, and rolls without entering circulation. This created a strange situation. The coins were abundant, yet untouched, waiting for someone decades later to rediscover them. Some of the greatest finds in coin collecting come not from old pockets but from forgotten rolls sealed for 20, 30, even 40 years. Inside those rolls could be the kind of error coin that makes a collector gasp and an auction room erupt. Imagine opening an old bank-wrapped roll of 1990D half-dollars and noticing one coin that looks different. Heavier, brighter, echoing with the unmistakable ring of silver. Such a discovery would send shockwaves through the collecting community, because official records insist there were no silver half-dollars minted in 1990. Yet history has taught us that the mint is not immune to secrets, surprises, or rare errors that escape unnoticed. The copper-nickel-clad surface of the 1990D half-dollar often ages with a unique patina, developing soft grays, blues, and swirling tones. Collectors adore this natural beauty. But sometimes, an error-coded or improperly bonded coin reveals copper streaks, missing layers, or ghost-like impressions. These unusual appearances transform a coin from ordinary to extraordinary, giving it the kind of personality that makes collectors battle for ownership. The 1990D half-dollar also serves as a reminder that the most valuable treasures are often found in the least dramatic places. Coin jars, inherited drawers, yard sales, or boxes of forgotten change. Many people believe modern coins cannot hold great value, but that belief is wrong. Errors do not follow rules. Rare pieces can appear in any era. And the 1990D is living proof that a coin from the late 20th century can be far more precious than most people realize. There is also something poetic about the 1990D's place in history. It stands at the end of the Cold War era, a time when America was shifting, evolving, and stepping into a new chapter. The coin carries the energy of that transition, a symbol of stability in a world changing rapidly. Holding it feels like holding a small piece of the past, a reminder of how far the country has come. For collectors, the thrill of searching for a rare 1990D half-dollar is not just about money, but about the adventure of discovery. It is about unlocking a mystery, finding beauty where others see nothing, and appreciating the fragile line between perfection and mistake. The greatest fortunes in coin collecting were made by people who paid attention when others did not. And that is why the 1990D Kennedy half-dollar can be a fortune breaker, a destiny shifter, a silent miracle waiting to be found. It proves that wealth does not always roar loudly. Sometimes it hides quietly in the palm of your hand. A single rare error from 1990 could elevate someone from ordinary life into extraordinary abundance. That is the magic of this coin. Next up, The 1978 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark is one of the most overlooked but strangely captivating coins in the entire American coin market. At first glance, it feels like a normal half-dollar, a quiet survivor from the late 1970s. But beneath that seemingly ordinary exterior lies a world of hidden possibilities, mysterious minting quirks, and an unpredictable market that has turned this coin into a modern treasure hunt. People who understand the truth behind the 1978 no mint mark half-dollar know that this coin is a silent powerhouse, a coin that, under the right conditions, can change a collector's life forever. To truly feel the energy of the 1978 half-dollar, you must first understand the year it was born. America in 1978 was adjusting to economic uncertainty, rapid cultural changes, and a coinage system still transitioning from old traditions to new processes. The U.S. Mint was pushing its machinery hard, producing millions of coins every day, and with that kind of pressure came inevitable mistakes. Errors that today are worth far more than anyone could have imagined at the time. The 1978 half-dollar represents that tension. A coin born in a moment of change, carrying the fingerprints of a nation rebuilding itself. This was also a time when the mint was completely committed to copper-nickel-clad coins. Silver had been removed from circulating halves years earlier, yet rumors persist. Whispers of 1978 have struck on leftover silver planchets, or pieces with a color and ring unlike ordinary clad metal. Whenever a coin exists in a mass production year that defies expectations, collectors gather around it with fascination. That is the energy the 1978 no mint mark half-dollar gives off, a feeling that something extraordinary might be hiding under its surface. On the obverse, the portrait of John F. Kennedy remains bold and commanding. Even though 15 years had passed since his tragic death, his image still held deep emotional weight. In 1978, the mint had refined the design, giving the hairline sharper grooves and the facial features a cleaner strength. When you hold a well-preserved 1978 half-dollar, you feel Kennedy's determination, his legacy, and the sense of a country still shaped by his memory. This portrait is not just artwork, it is a symbol of hope, courage, and unfinished dreams. Turn the coin over and the reverse explodes into symbolism. The powerful presidential eagle, wings spread wide, clutching the arrows of defense and the olive branch of peace, sits within a ring of stars. The design feels almost patriotic enough to move the heart. In 1978, America was crawling out of political turmoil and economic struggle. The half-dollar's reverse captures the belief that the nation would rise again, stronger, prouder, more focused. This is why collectors say the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar is more than a coin. It is a piece of emotional history. Even though millions of these coins were minted, most circulated heavily, grinding down their details and leaving them dull, worn, and scratched. That's why high-grade examples, the ones that shine like they were frozen in time, are extremely rare today. A perfectly preserved 1978 no mint mark half-dollar carries a beauty that ordinary eyes rarely see. It's the kind of coin that, when placed under bright light, flashes with magical brilliance. But what really pushes the 1978 half-dollar into the realm of treasure is the world of errors. Missing clad layers, double strikes, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, filled dies, and planchet flaws. These mistakes transform simple coins into high-value collectibles. Some errors give the coin a silver-like surface, tricking even seasoned collectors until weight measurements reveal the truth. These are the coins that take your breath away, the coins that turn a casual collector into a serious hunter overnight. One of the most electrifying possibilities is the accidental striking on a leftover silver planchet. Though extremely rare, this rumor has given the 1978 no mint mark half-dollar an almost mythical energy. Imagine holding a coin from a year when silver was not supposed to exist, a coin that challenges history itself. If one such coin were authenticated today, its value could skyrocket beyond imagination, possibly into life-changing territory. Collectors always say, check every 1970s half-dollar carefully. Why? Because these years were full of minting inconsistencies. The mint was updating machinery, pushing for quantity, and adapting to new alloys. Mistakes slipped through, invisible treasures waiting decades to be discovered. Many people have unknowingly kept these coins in jars, drawers, and old folders for 40 years without realizing what they possessed. A 1978 no mint mark half-dollar with a dramatic error is not just a coin. It is a rare survivor. It represents the quiet triumph of chance, the kind of miracle that could appear in a handful of loose change. These are the surprises that make coin collecting feel like an adventure. The kind of moment where one simple discovery shakes your entire world. In today's coin market, the 1978 half dollar is rising in attention. Collectors are finally waking up to the potential of late 1970s clad coins, especially those with strong strikes and rare errors. Prices have been climbing, and unique pieces have started commanding shocking premiums. This is why people say, never spend your 1978 half dollar without checking it carefully. It might be the key to your fortune. As the decades pass, the value of early clad era coins continues to grow. Their rarity increases, their historical significance deepens, and collectors start hunting them with greater passion. The 1978 mintmark half dollar sits right in the middle of this rising wave, and those who understand its potential are already searching relentlessly for the next big discovery. And so, the 1978 Kennedy half dollar becomes more than just metal. It becomes a symbol of hope, luck, and hidden wealth. A coin that looks ordinary but has the power to change someone's life when the right error appears. It is a reminder that the greatest treasures often hide in plain sight, waiting for the one person wise enough to look closer. The 1985 P. Kennedy half dollar is one of those coins that most people overlook, yet it carries a silent electricity that collectors can feel the moment it lands in their palm. It looks ordinary enough at first glance, struck in the typical copper-nickel-clad metal of its era. But beneath that cool surface lies the possibility of rare errors, unexpected silver-like compositions, and hidden minting miracles that can transform a simple coin into a life-changing treasure. This is a coin that doesn't shout, it whispers. And those who listen closely often discover something remarkable. To understand the power of the 1985 P half dollar, you must first understand the deeper legacy of the Kennedy series itself. Born in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination, the half dollar became a symbol of unity, loss, and hope woven together. Millions of Americans collected it out of love, not profit. As years passed, the emotional meaning never disappeared, and every new year of production carried the spirit of the original. Even the 1985 P, decades later, still carries that pulse of remembrance. The year 1985 marked a time in American history when the country was shifting into a new technological era, but the art of coin-making remained both ancient and precise. The Philadelphia Mint, represented by the P mintmark, was operating at immense speed that year, striking millions of half dollars for circulation and commerce. And whenever a mint pushes its machines to their maximum, the door opens for accidents. Misfeeds, double strikes, misaligned dies, incomplete metal layers, and rare planchet mix-ups. These moments of mechanical imperfection create the kinds of coins that collectors dream about. Stories have circulated for years about 1985 P half dollars that look shockingly like silver, carrying a shine deeper and brighter than typical clad coins. While the mint did not officially produce silver half dollars that year, unexplained anomalies do happen. A leftover silver planchet slipping into the presses, a transition blank from testing, or a mislabeled metal disc can result in a coin that defies the official record. If such a coin exists, its value would be beyond imagination, because it would be a numismatic miracle. The portrait of John F. Kennedy on the 1985 P half dollar has a powerful presence. His profile stands tall, his hair sharply defined, his expression frozen in a moment of determination and dignity. Even though decades had passed since his presidency, the coin honors his legacy with the same intensity as the 1964 original. The reverse design, featuring the majestic presidential seal, reinforces the commanding presence of the coin. Together, the designs make the coin feel more like a national emblem than currency. For collectors, the 1985 P is especially intriguing because many half dollars of that era went straight from the mint into vaults, bankrolls, or storage boxes, and never circulated. That means untouched, brilliant, flawless examples still sleep today, waiting to be discovered. A perfect gem-grade 1985 P can already sell for tremendous amounts. Add a mint error, and the value can skyrocket into unbelievable territory. One of the reasons this coin fascinates collectors is that Philadelphia in the mid-1980s was notorious for producing unusual error coins. Off-center strikes, missing clad layers, double denomination errors, and die cracks all occurred more frequently than people realized at the time. A 1985 p half-dollar with one of these powerful mistakes is not just rare. It is a collector's trophy, the kind that sparks bidding wars and breaks price expectations. Another layer of mystery surrounds the fact that so many 1985 p half-dollars have been found in rolls with surprising toning. The metals used during that era often developed deep blues, golds, and smoky purples over time. These swirling natural colors turn a simple coin into an artistic masterpiece. Collectors value beauty just as much as rarity, and a dramatically toned 1985 p can bring attention from even the most elite auction houses. Imagine discovering a faint die crack running across Kennedy's cheek, or an off-center strike that shows the design drifting into the rim, or a missing clad layer exposing raw copper on one side. These are the kinds of details that elevate a coin from pocket change to investment treasure. And because these errors often appear microscopically thin or subtle, only people who look closely are rewarded. There is also a poetic side to the 1985 p. It represents a moment in American history where things felt stable on the surface, yet the world was quietly transforming behind the scenes. Technology was rising, culture was shifting, and the old ways were fading. The coin captures that subtle tension. In its metal, you can feel both the strength of tradition and the pull of the future. Many collectors say one of the greatest joys of coin hunting is the moment when an ordinary-looking coin reveals an extraordinary secret. The 1985 p half-dollar embodies that thrill perfectly. It is a reminder that the most powerful treasures in life rarely look special at first glance. They wait for someone patient enough and curious enough to uncover their truth. Even though millions of these coins were made, only a tiny fraction contain dramatic errors, unusual compositions, or flawless surfaces capable of delivering real fortune. And that is why the 1985 p is such a thrilling coin, because its true value is hidden, silent, waiting to be unlocked. Rare coins like this do not scream for attention. They reward the person who pays attention. A single exceptional 1985 p Kennedy half-dollar has the power to change a collector's life. Its value can climb from dollars into thousands, tens of thousands, or more depending on the rarity of the error and its condition. This is why experts say, never spend a Kennedy half-dollar without examining it first, because sometimes fortune disguises itself in the most ordinary places. And so, the 1985 p Kennedy half-dollar stands as a symbol of mystery, beauty, and potential. A coin that bridges history and opportunity. A coin that reminds us that destiny often hides in places we least expect. And for the person who discovers the right one, the rare anomaly, the impossible silver planchet, the flawless gem, it could truly change everything overnight. Next